Hi, BookTube. So I'm going to share one of my older reflections with you again. This one is about Evil Hour, my favorite by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's the one where they're sending poison pens around the village. I think it's not Macondo. We'll find out in a minute. So here we go. And my take on this one is very much looking at the characters as they are associated with various animal tropes. So this is called Gabriel Garcia Marquez Menagerie, An Evil Hour, Mala Hora. It begins with a quote: "Put a little faith in your work, and the mice will come into the traps like lambs." While an evil hour posts the lampoons such as, excuse me, who in the who in evil hour posts the lampoons such as, "Don't waste bullets on buzzards," which plague the town. It is none other than Gabriel Garcia Marquez himself. He offers animologies for almost all of his characters. His process is akin to the biblical poetics of parallelism. The old curate falls prey at last to madness. He sees a rain of birds. The sea will grow larger with my tears. Animal proverbs are also used. The jaguar gets fat in October. Father Angel is associated with the domestic ox, peaceful, thick, sad. The lay sister, Trinidad, is associated with the church mice she fails to exterminate. Cesar Romero rides a mule into the kitchen, then later kills misserenating pastor, a worm along the furrow of tiny bloody feathers. In action and dialogue, as well as description and characterization, Garcia Marquez develops this animal theme. "Don't shoot, you animal. It was with a jaguar gun. Dead as a pig, like a mule." Cesar won't confess. Bon vivant Judge Arcadio, first seen in Flagrante, "Gid-yap, donkey," with his pregnant wife, in the end flees his risky imprest, like an ox with a ring in his nose, position, but rebukes his secretary in slippers. This is an office for the administration of justice, and not for the plucking of chickens. The founding Assis family of bird cages, turtles, turtle flippers in soup, and dreams of glass cats were swineherds, with hell in their imaginations. Legend held that Adalberto shot a man in his wife's bedroom, but it was only a masturbating monkey. It was snakes, Don Sabas tells Don Giraldo, who treats his shamelessness as virtue. There isn't a single fortune in this country that doesn't have some dead donkey behind it. Happy times when a little girl of 16 costs less than a heifer. When the floods come, Don Sabas speculates profits on plots of land, but the mayor thwarts his plans by providing plots behind the cemetery. A bloody dogfight interrupts the mayor's passage to jail. In jail is a mature woman with pronounced bones and a bumptious bun, erroneously blamed for the lampoons. Can any doubt a witch is meant with what follows? All he found was the corpse of a cat floating among the flowers. Moises the Syrian and his passive compatriot Elias, whom the barber calls Shitty Turk, are confused with the uproar of parrots and monkeys on the opposite shore. The barber also badmouths rotten old Black Carmichael. Dogfight or imbregious. The mayor rinses his mouth of dental suspicion. A shift seems to occur in consulting the Post-Telegrapher's dictionary definition. It isn't the lampoons that won't let people sleep, it's fear of the lampoons. The lampoons become a novel. We are in a delayed public domain. The murdered registrar's replacement, appointed a year ago, dares not appear. Pigs wallow in mud, inviting indigestion until the dead are brought back to life. The mayor crushes a harvest fly, gives it to a child in the crowd at the port. A chicken crate, laden barge, comes scattering buzzards, bringing the circus. Cesar's wife, Rosario's mother, confused with the animal tamer, comes to take her away. Rosario had pulled her teaching post here from a hat, as she pulled her husband from the wild dogs of the forest. His head price now 5,000 pesos in yearlings and 5 calves. Widow Montreal wants to escape as well the beast of bird and lice on her estate of devil's dung. The impresario is associated with stray cats. The mayor suggests he use fish or crocodiles instead to feed the leopard with whom he confuses Cassandra. The antediluvian town still stinks of stuck, rotting cow. Any seeming shift to stillborn civilization stagnates in the raw nature of the river with its smell of huge animal, the sound of its entrails drowning out even the church bells, which chase away the cinema. A donkey strays into the churchyard. Trinidad's Uncle Ambrosio climbs into her bed, claiming fears of roosters. Don Lalo Mascote refuses her the arsenic she says she needs to kill the church mice. It is the barber, Guardiola, the mayor fears, now more than the dentist, the razor at his neck forbidding talk of politics. Judge Arcadio calls him a toad. The mayor is suspicious. They act too tame. Shopkeeper Benjamin is introduced with buzzards, roughed and ceremonious in their quinquagesima dance. Aurelio, the dentist, once condemned to death, tells him that blind chameleons don't change color. The dentist's daughter, Angelina, tells of the midget lion tamer and the Tovars leaving. They'll be back, Aurelio predicts. Shame has a short memory. Are we in the country of eternal return, of lost tribes of Benjamins? Father Angel becomes a night owl. Cinema banned, toads echo. Curfew. Ever since the world has been the world, no decree has ever brought any good. The mayor fears to put criminals, the guard, out hunting lampoonists, ghosts. For hunting witches, there's no better rifle than a broom. The widow. Death is eating this town. She packs the plaster San Rafael in a stocking in her trunk. Into your hands I place the sinful world of Jose Montiel. She tells Carmichael to throw her house to the hogs. She jumps off the balcony. The circus founders against the curfew. The impresario, with sea dog pipe, begs and bargains in vain. Recruits patrol the night. Horseflies hurl themselves at bulbs. Lampoons plaster on, with drawings now, spectacles of fear. How Nestor had dragged Nora Jacobs into a corral to marry her, for instance. The days are still but for dogs barking at heat and mosquitoes around Don Lalo Mascote's paralytic wife, in a town that the measureless silence had reduced to the dimensions of a bedroom. Again a dogfight. Rebels with Made in USA against Mayor's submachine gun. Raindrops fall like birdshot. This hasn't got any head or tail to it. It's like something women do. They caught Cassandra passless on her way to an assignation with the mayor. Her cards tell it's the whole town. Nobody. Sundays are strange, says Widow Assis. It's as if they were hung up quartered. They smell of raw animals. Not long after this, she tells the doctor her buttock is raw. Her sons, docile, mulish. Priests shave too. Unload gifts for Father Angel. Fresh eggs, trussed up chickens. Brer Rabbit's dream. Father Angel stumbled over his words, surprised by a flock of ideas. The mayor catches a man in the plaza dragging a tail. The whole country is patched up with cobwebs. Swatting mosquitoes with the clandestine flyers, he gets his name. Pepe Armador. Father Angel replaces Trinidad with Mina. Necessity has the face of a dog. Toto Visbal consults with the blind grandmother, predicts 3 days of darkness, a rain of burning ash. Time passes without making any noise. Revelation. Father Angel realizes the cock has been crowing for some time. Mateo Assis is caught as curfew ends, coming from Nora Jacobs, trying to calculate time by the rooster. Goes home and ties up the dogs. Hens and ducks and turkeys are invading the Assis house. No life for a Christian. But the widow bans Mateo's gun. I don't need junk like that to defend myself. Divine providence is on our side. She scolds Mateo. It's one thing to look after your hide, and something else to know how to keep your distance. Tension heightens. The judge drinking to be carried out like a bullfighter. The mayor wants to tax Don Sabas is rustling the widow Montiel's herd. Don Sabas refuses to dream so that his wife can play jackass. The doctor senses God's work, covering people's instincts with armor falling apart. Even to open the door, you need the help of God, says Father Angel. Or a flashlight, says Doctor. Father, one of these nights, put your hand on your heart and ask yourself if you're not trying to put bandages on morality. And the town continues bleeding people. Not just, goodbye, you son of a bitch cop impresario, but Moises the Syrian leaving enigmatic marks in the coffee cup. Even the judge. Wherever they go, they'll remember that their umbilical cords are buried in this town. It all ends with murder, as it began. Armadors by the blonde giant guard in jail. Carmichael soaks mulish in the courtyard, refusing to betray probate. Benjamin calls Pepe's mother, attempts to save him, throwing writs to the hogs. She howls like a dog, horse. Now, just listen to this mess, the mayor tells Father Angel Amador, escaped. Doctor. It's impossible to keep secrets in this town. Ever since 4 p.m. on Everybody Knows You did the same thing to that boy that Don Sabas did with the donkeys he sold. After Mass, a lost bird appeared in the courtyard and spent almost a half hour giving little invalid leaps among the spikenards. Children tried to make a pair of pet rabbits drink from a glass. Father Angel thought he smelled wolfsbane and slept like a saint. Whatever connects our animal self to our ideas of civilization cannot be put more simply, less complexly, or more organically and elegantly than that.